Hello everyone, the channel, Animeshka, is with you. Would you like and subscribe and we begin. Anime, sexy comedy, golden boy. The first series begins with an introduction to the main character Kintaro Oe. He is 25 years old. He is looking for a job. While riding a bike with music on his headphones, he almost gets hit by an expensive car. He falls off the bike into the garbage, gets up and sees a girl with big breasts. She gives him 1,000,000 yen for dry cleaning, medical care, and a bike repair, gets in her car, and drives off. Oe puts the money in a bag and makes notes in his notebook. After that, one old man helps the guy fix the bike for free. After a couple of minutes, Yakuza comes to the old man and asks about the money that he owes them, most likely for protection. The main character doesn't like it. Therefore, he heads towards the old man, but turns into the courtyard and again makes notes in a notebook. A couple of hours later, Kintaro arrives at his new job at a software development company. He is sent to the boss. It turns out to be the same blonde from the beginning of the series. She makes him scrub the toilets. He quickly finds a way to have fun, introduces the blonde as his mistress, and hugs the toilet on which she sat. At this time, the boss comes into the booth and almost fires the kid for perverting. Oe says he didn't come here to clean pushes, but to develop. The girl takes him on weekly and makes him show his skills. The guy can't do anything because he doesn't understand anything. The teen tells him about the programming languages they work with. One of them is SI. Kintaro thinks it's about sex and asks to stay at the company. The boss agrees on the condition that the guy will not interfere with anyone. Instead of being sloppy, he finds time to learn and ask programmers questions all the time. They help him and tell him how everything works here. While washing the floor, he finds someone's bra and tries it on, but hears the steps of the staff and hides in the closet, where he spies on the girls changing clothes. And of course, he makes notes in his notebook. In the evening, he goes to the main office and sees the computer turned on along with the server. Remembers the memo. When leaving, turn off the light. Oe shuts down the main computer and accidentally erases all data. The blonde throws a tantrum and dumps all the problems on the boy. The problem is that tomorrow you need to hand over a project that no longer exists. The next day, the girls try to deliver the project on time, taking a small delay. But one of the madams finds a program on her computer that they have been working on for several months. It turns out that Kintaro redid it and finalized it, and left an apology at the end. Going out into the street in search of the main character, they encounter an old man. He says that he came here to praise the kid who just recently gave him 1,000,000 yen just like that. This strongly catches the blonde, and she gets into her expensive car in search of Kintaro. Our boy turns out to be very smart, and right now, he is going to meet new adventures. In the next town, Kintaro meets a girl and calls her an angel. Further, Kintaro works at the headquarters of the Juzo Katsudo Election Company. This is the mayor of the city. He wants to extend his term of office. Even the Yakuza works for him, to say nothing of ordinary criminals. One of the workers' son fell ill, so Oe offers his candidacy for the role of cleaner in the mayor's house. There he just saw the same girl. The henchman stops him and warns him of the consequences of the connection with Naoko. The guy goes to clean the house. There he meets the mayor's daughter. She apologizes to him and takes him to her room and undresses. She seems to understand nothing about the relationship between a man and a woman. This is all malicious intent. She knows the guy won't hit on her because he's afraid of her father. She harasses Kintaro with her body. The next day, the girl again mocks the guy, forcing him to touch her breasts, and in the evening asks for help with mathematics. Days pass. Naoko decides to steal the protagonist's diary. From it, she learns that Kintaro sees right through her. He is playing with her, not she with him. The girl decides to take revenge. She invites him to visit, cuts her clothes, and starts screaming. The father and several mercenaries run into the room and see a kid with scissors. Naoko thought that Oe would apologize, but he is not a coward and said he loves her. This does not please Katsuta, and he orders the mercenaries to beat the guy. However, after a couple of minutes, Naoko stops them and asks Kintaro's forgiveness. The next day, the protagonist leaves town and meets Naoko, who thanks him for everything. And the father passing by in a car is pleased with the guy, because he did not get scared and did everything like a real man. In the future, Oe started working part-time at a diner, where he learned how to make noodles from scratch under the guidance of an experienced old man. One man did not like the hero's dish, and he began to resent, but after talking with the owner's daughter, he decided to give the boy another chance. On the same day, the stately man Kogure comes to the cafe, brings fruit to the wounded old man, eats noodles, and invites Noriko to take a walk around the city. She agrees and looks forward to meeting. In the evening, a man and a girl visit the ship and watch the sunset. Kogure proposes marriage. He does not receive an answer. At night, Kintaro walks the streets after a bath and meets the same man in the company of some girl. He follows them and eavesdrops on the conversation. It turns out that Kogure decided to marry Noriko only in order to take away a cafe and build his own business on that place. Oe intervenes in the conversation and gets punched in the face for sticking his nose into other people's business. In a couple of days, the girl is going to meet Kogure again. This time, during a sports match, the man decides not to hesitate and seduce the girl. Suddenly, Kintaro intervenes and accidentally kisses the scoundrel. In the evening, during a conversation with Noriko, the main character lets slip about the personality of Kogure and calls him a scoundrel. This angers the girl and she leaves. During a night walk, she bumps into two guys, Kintaro and Kogure. The first apologizes to the second and promises to leave the girl alone. Noriko herself hears all this and understands that her lover turned out to be that scum. Our guy decides not to hide his ability and knocks out the asshole in just a few blows. A few days later, Oe leaves town, having made sure that everything will be fine with the diner owner's daughter. Driving past the pool, Kintaro meets another beautiful girl. He gets a job as a swimming instructor, and this girl turns out to be the director. She invites the boy to show his abilities. He's screwing up again, just like in the first episode. They try to kick him out, but he uses his persuasion skills and finds a way to stay working in the pool and admire a beautiful girl. Exactly 1 month later, he must beat the head of the school in swimming, or he will have to work for free for a whole year and do all the dirty work. So far, he is assigned to teach small children who do not know how to swim at all. The main task is to teach them to dive underwater. In his spare time, local instructors teach Kintaro himself. The head of the pool tells Oe that his teaching methods are no good, as they are supposed to teach swimming, not entertain children. The woman believes that it is necessary to force children to study, but the guy thinks otherwise. It seems to him that you first need to prepare the kids for water, and only then allow them to physical activity. On one of the training days, Kintaro offers to show off his training skills, jumps into the water, and covers a sufficient distance in a short time, using good technique, which will definitely take more than a month to learn. This offends the girl, and she wants to arrange a competition with the boy. It begins to swim ahead of him, thereby exposing all its charms. This stops the main character, and after a while, he crashes into her ass. This ends the bet, and they both exit the pool. The girl notices that Kintaro is left without his underpants. She starts insulting him and throws him out into the street in winter. The next day, she realizes that Oe has come up with a new way of teaching children. allowing most of them to enjoy swimming and exercising their bodies. The girl accepts defeat and wants to return the hero back. However, he is on his way to the next town, where he meets the next madam on a motorcycle. He does not keep up with her, and he has to stop at the estate of one of the richest people in Kyoto, but not just stay, but work there to gain new experience. This time he has to behave very intelligently, as required by the employer, even during cleaning and laundry. On one of his working days, he comes across a girl named Reiko. Even from hugging Kintaro with a toilet bowl, she does not make any remarks to him, unlike the previous girls. After a while, Oe gets fired anyway, as his work style doesn't suit the estate. He accidentally notices that Reiko is heading somewhere. After following her, the boy realizes that the same girl on the motorcycle is Reiko. She says that she is not turned on, neither by men nor women, but only by this motorcycle. If Kintaro wants to surprise her, he will have to overtake her on his bike. At first, the trip does not bring anything good, since the motorcycle will always be faster than the bike. However, Oe decides to take a shortcut and eventually catches up with the girl, clinging to the car's spoiler. By turning on the internal motivation, our hero throws away all fears and tries to cross the bridge with great speed. This catches the girl, and she falls in love with him. But like the rest, she does not have time to do anything, as the guy just leaves for the sunset. Well, it remains. The last series is the 6th. Kintaro temporarily gets a job at an animation studio as a regular assistant. A sponsor and scriptwriter arrives at a small studio. The first insists on speeding up the production time, as the guys do not have time at all. Kintaro tries to help everyone. He delivers scenes, buys and cooks food, cleans up, and even tries to keep up with the animators, who, as a result, remain dissatisfied. In a few weeks, a sponsor arrives at the studio. She resents the timing of anime development and says that if they don't meet the deadline, she'll have to shut them down. On the same day, the director goes to the hospital and all production is temporarily stopped. Meanwhile, Kintaro tries to support the girl who is painting the scenes. She believes that her work is worthless and no one needs. But Oe convinces her otherwise, and then learns that the team can no longer do anything and they will have to close. Here all the girlfriends of the protagonist enter the stage. The first businesswoman helps create animation through programming. The mayor's second daughter just helps the guys. 3 prepares food. 4 helps you shoot with your body. 5 delivers scenes at top speed on his motorcycle. And then comes the day of the premiere. Everyone is waiting for a miracle. The anime turned out to be awesome. The authors and the sponsor are satisfied, as is the whole room. Here's the problem. Kintaro dumped somewhere again, collected all his things, sat on the bike and rushed forward. All the girls gathered together and rushed right after him. Whether they catch up with him is unknown. Since there was no continuation and the anime ended on the 6th series. What can I say? The Golden Guy is a really good anime that is worth watching not only because of the plot, but also because of the humor and the different plots from series to series. It was interesting to watch this series. I recommend it to anyone who wants to laugh. See you in the next video.